Hello everyone, Aaron Stewart here, welcoming you to another Move MHK Monday, and this week we're going to be talking about Chapter 3, which is our level of service, our inventory and assessment on our park system, and it's really a very good chapter to look at everything that all of our parks have. So first, what is our level of service? Well, our parkland availability is about 11.64 acres per 1,000 residents. And so that's actually above what the national standard is. So we could actually bring in another 10,000 residents into Manhattan before we need to add more parkland into the system. So we're sitting pretty good there. Our distribution is 630 acres of groomed parks. So that serves about 1,900 residents per park. And our total access for all parks within Manhattan that are even beyond just what the city of Manhattan maintains is a little over 1,000 acres. So the inventory and assessments on each park, and each park has a inventory and assessment sheet, and it really talks about what the inventory is in a park. So the location, the size, the features, the amenities, the walkability, the access, and so thinking about Seco Park, there's a highway that's next to it, so that's an access barrier. So it talks about those, the condition, community feedback, the key issues of what's going on in that park and what we think we need to fix in most near term and what are long-term fixes. And then of course recommendations from the consultant about and the costs that would go associating with those fixes. So let's talk about how park ratings were developed. So you'll see in these sheets that we're displaying that there's a park rating. First of all, the categories that they're rated on are accessibility, the character of the park, the connectivity, the usability, and the condition. And we have a wide range of some that are in really good condition, such as like Blue Earth Plaza, to some that are in very poor condition, such as Sojourner Truth. And so we need to make sure that we're approaching those ratings with resources to improve the parks that are not in the greatest of condition. So talking about condition of parks, we also need to think about how we do this from a planning perspective. And so they've actually put planning areas together. There were 4 areas defined with basically roadways as a major boundary or cultural boundary. There was analysis of demographics within there, which includes the population, the income, the housing, and then a review of the availability and the use of land within that section of town, and an assessment on the at-risk population that uses that area and the walkability to the park. So there are maps that represent this, so I encourage you to check these out. So speaking of the planning areas, one of the things that we wanted to discover was how equitable was our distribution of all of our parks and amenities throughout the community. And what we noticed is there is a disparity between the east and west side. The west side has about 450 more acres, while the east side has a higher population density, higher at-risk population, and a lower medium income. So we wanted to focus on kind of the east side as defined in the plan for park concepts, the first being City Park. It's our most walkable park. We need to do a really refresh update of that park. Most of what we've seen being used in there outside of the amenities such as the pool, the playground, and the pavilion it's used for parking. And so we want to really try to redesign that to engage people in. Northeast Park, where we are today, is actually still fairly undeveloped. Part of what this plan calls for is an event venue behind me in this prairie, but it would actually emphasize the prairie that's out here, which is fantastic. But it also would bring amenities like soccer and baseball, softball, t-ball fields out here, playgrounds, sport courts that would allow people on the east side to access the amenities that the west side has. Same thing with Northview. One of the things we're looking at there is a fitness court so we can improve health outcomes in this area. So they can walk to that park, they would have a fitness court in that park, a new walking trail, new sport courts, and hopefully would allow this area to have a walkable park where they can get active. I'd like to thank you again for joining us for another Move MHK Monday, and again encourage you to submit questions to us, and it can be about anything, even beyond the Move MHK plan. Thanks very much.